afternoon, everyone. Today I'm going to spend a few minutes talking about the crucial influence that political leaders have on a country as a whole. So I'm coming from a very small country in the Middle East that has a lot of wonderful places to visit. But on the other hand, it's a country with a lot of corruption and problems. It is so weird how a country can be very rich with water, but still has no consistent electricity. So what's the problem then? This is a very small example of what people are suffering from. Imagine that whenever the government needs money, they stop vehicles and ticket them with very little evidence. Imagine a country that will take advantage of the Syrian refugees to increase the prices of the basic needs. What will such a country look like? Welcome to Lebanon, to the world of selfish me instead of the united us. So what do I really mean by that? Lebanon, with a population of 80 million people, has only 4 million people in Lebanon. What is the reason behind this? It is so clear. If people had all they need in their countries, why would they leave their families? So let's think deeper. Who is responsible for all these problems? In Lebanon, the main problem is that political leaders are not working for the people. Instead, they are working for their selfish gains. So what are the characteristics of a bad leader, and what effect will this person have on the whole country? Some common characteristics are greed and selfishness. For example, they prevent citizens from cutting trees, but on the other hand, they cut the trees for their own needs, to use them in the winter. Another characteristic is manipulation. An example is that politicians bribe people for votes, and the result is that we get the wrong leaders. A third characteristic is that some politicians who don't listen to people's needs, and they do not act on those needs. The outcome is that people do not have adequate service, which are the electricity, the water, and the healthcare. Another example is that children who don't have children who have to play on the streets instead of playgrounds. And this reminds me of my 6-year-old brother. While I'm here, I'm always worried about him because they play football on the streets. So, will Lebanon be a better country if our leaders were replaced? What will this country look like, and what are the characteristics of a good leader? Some characteristics are honesty. This is to promise people and fulfill these promises. To have a sense of humor. In 1955, we had such a leader. Confidence, commitment, to have a positive attitude, and to have the ability to inspire people. And one person that has inspired me as being a very good and true leader is Sayyid Hassan Nasrallah. The first idea that will come into your mind is that I'm promoting this fellow because he's a Muslim, but it's not like that. I'll give one thing that really struck me about this person, and it's that this leader had sacrificed his son for the sake of our country. His son is a martyr to Hezbollah, and he's really proud of it. Another thing that is very special about this person is his charismatic character, his confidentiality, and his credibility in his speeches. And on a personal level, he's non-fanatic to his own beliefs and concerns, but he respects all paths, all religions, ideologies, and political backgrounds. So, to sum up, good leaders have built and strengthened groups of people, while bad leaders tear down and destroy communities. So we are our country's future. It's our choice either to build or ruin our communities and countries. I challenge each of us to consider what characteristics we are building in ourselves even today. Thank you.
My brothers and sisters, I welcome you all to the Republic of South Sudan and to talk about the leadership today in front of you. And the leadership I'm going to present is how to build the nation. and I can put it in the nation building. And for my understanding, for what I'm talking about, the nation building is how did I want to build the nation as a leader for this nation, and how is important to me to build the nation as a group of this nation without looking to tribe or hate we have in our nation. One thing I want to do it is to include all the leaders and all the citizens of this country to build the nation in the model way. Our feeling is the way we can sit together and talk about the leadership in this country. The nation building includes everything and how to build. One is the culture, our culture, different. Second thing is our belief. We believe in God. And for me, special, I believe this nation, person can govern this nation is the man governed by God to govern us. Why I'm saying this is because if we are fearing God, we will lead this nation in the better way. Because this nation, it needs someone to come and stand in front of us, talk, and give us the solution of this nation. How can we manage our citizenship? The higher level of this nation is to come as a united country without division, to come and overcome our challenges. The main challenges in this country is our resources. One is oil. Because the oil is the one can let us go back to the war. But for my understanding, I didn't want to go back as a leader for the war. We want to sit with our brothers in North to come and give the solution for our nation. They are Sudanese, and also we are Sudanese. We will come as a brothers and we sit and we give for our nation, two-nation solution. The models of the leaders I want to see in this nation is one thing is share. When I was talking about share is for us as the leaders of this nation, we want to include every person in this nation to feel is belong to this country. Our country, we have many diverse tribes, languages, but we want to build the culture for this nation. The second is care. We want to care for our people. We have widows and widows. And we have heroes. Heroes died and they left this nation for us. Because of them, we get this nation. They fight for us and now we have become a free nation. What can we do for those who gave their life to the nation and they left their children in this nation? For me, I want to help those people in that situation. They didn't have the good schools, we didn't have the health, and we didn't have all the basic needs for our country. What can we do as a nation? What can we do as the leaders for the nation? Third thing is coaching. We need somebody to coach this nation to become like the coach. Coach, you cannot leave any player outside. But when you bring all the players, they will run the match. And we are in the ground playing our politics to run this nation in the better way. That's why we need the good coach. The third is captain. When we select one person to be a captain for the national team, that one is responsible for anybody in the team. We our leaders should be responsible for our people, to give the solution for our nation. Contacts. Our leader should has a contact with different people in this nation. Include everybody to have a contact with him. Challenges. As a leaders, we want to give for our challenges. We want to give the result. After 50 years, we will celebrate for jubilee for this nation. But wish us as a leader to want to see that nation, people are looking to us. Communication is important. Before I conclude my speech, there is something I want to give as a solution for my understanding to the situation of my country, is to build the good culture in this nation, to respect ourselves, to respect our religions. We cannot behave like I'm a so and so and belong to this tribe, but we belong to South Sudan. There is some question for any leader among us. One, how do we want to build this nation effectively? The second is how can we develop our cultural diversity in this nation? And how can we achieve our mission and our goals? And how can we manage our government in this situation when we have difficulties? We now in our country we have 75. They are corrupt, and we know them, but we want to deal them with responsibilities. With responsibilities is to come and stand and say, I have taken these things from the nation. I want to give it back. It not belong to you. It belong to anybody in this nation. The change we need in this nation is to change ourselves first, and then we change our nation. My country is first. My tribe is second. Thank you.
Today I'm gonna talk about the power and authority as relates to the leadership. So many leaders don't know the difference between the power and authority. So I'm gonna tell a story of a man called Chris. He was a leader in his company, and he tried to lead with his positional power, and it wasn't working. So there is no any influence, no momentum. So there's only one option for him. He approached his mentor, Kevin, and he talked about his 2 years of journey in his company and all his failures, and he was taught with the things. Then he was taught nothing can be accomplished and done without a power and position. So the mentor Kevin listened and understand, and he helped him. And the next 2 hours would change his approach to the leadership. So the choice for him is to continue to lead with power, or learn how to lead with authentic authority. So his dilemma is the power versus authority. So there is a question for him: does he have does he have power and authority, or do his followers give it to him? So, authority is about who you are as a person and your character and the influence you have built with people. You earn the authority. It doesn't come as because you have a title of leadership. So how to earn the authority? So first is serve. The great leaders serve others. They take care of their needs. And the second is allow yourself to be influenced by others. Great leaders allow themselves to be influenced by others. They respect their opinions and views and build healthy relationships. Great leaders build healthy relationship with their employees, their customer, their supplier, then all around him. And the fourth is rational persuasion and utilize logical, factual evidence to influence others. Then the fifth is inspire. Leader tells great stories. Make sure your people know the core values and history of the organization or their work, and be a role model. Leader they lead by example. So the person, the Chris, and his understanding of leadership would change his work in his company, and he would choose to lead and serve the people, not to dictate. And he removed his title from his business card. And with the conclusion, the most leaders in a position, they are in a position of power, and the key is to develop their authority with the people you lead. And with this topic, I would like to give an example. His Holiness is a good example of a leader who earns an authority. He has an positional power in Tibetan state, but he don't have a positional power outside the Tibetan. But the people all over the world, they love and they follow him because he served from his heart. Yeah, thank you very much.